Advice was be comfortable where you are in your beauty journey. And what I mean by that is if you're 19 and you have 19-year-old skin, perfect. If you're 34 and you
Hi, how are ya?
I'm good. How are you doing? I am good. I wish my little one would be napping right now, but other than that, I'm good.
Oh, that is completely fine. It's so nice to put a face behind the name. This is Nicole, the owner of N Lang Artistry out of our very own city, right? Cleveland, Ohio.
I'm in Cleveland. I am by the airport, so I'm really right next to everyone.
Wow, wow.
So it's nice for, the work that we do because I'm a traveling makeup artist. So as far as traveling goes, it helps that I don't have like a 10-minute commute to a highway. So
Right. Wow. That is good. And from my research, I saw that you have been in the industry for over 12 years.
yeah.
You're well versed in airbrush and traditional makeup application. And I also, was able to see that you're experienced in editorial, commercial, and bridal makeup.
Yeah.
And you've worked with a lot of public figures and fashion models. So that is really exciting. I mean, to whatever level it is, it's always exciting, no matter what, as a makeup artist, to make it that far, or to even just be doing anything in the industry. Yeah, so congratulations on that. And I'm so proud to see how well you're doing. Tell us a little bit about, I know that I mentioned some things about what you do, but what makes you unique as a makeup artist, and what different styles and techniques like you kind of like to focus on?
So I would say what makes me unique as a makeup artist is I think it kind of what makes me unique as a person and as a human. So when I work with my clients, especially brides, one thing that I like to let them know or communicate is it's really all about them. So, and I think that a lot of times people can maybe be like, oh, well, I'm the artist. I know exactly what's best. And maybe you might know what would be best for you or in that situation. But the point is for you to work with whoever it is, whether it's the bride or the creative team or the photographer, to kind of create something that everyone's comfortable with, that people with, oh my gosh, this is beautiful and it's gonna look amazing. So I think that what's different for me is I am definitely a partner in creating a beautiful whatever you need it to be. So whether you're a bride who likes full glam, or you're a bride who never ever wears makeup, has never had their makeup done, I'm ready to work with you to meet your comfortability level so that you don't feel overwhelmed. If you don't feel like you need to have like huge caterpillar lashes to be beautiful, you don't need to have heavy makeup on. You don't really need barely have any makeup on. And it's all about using little techniques of color correcting or concealing certain spots, or just making sure that the colors go really beautiful with the skin, and just making you polished and perfected without making you feel uncomfortable or without going to a place that you're not trying to go.
That is awesome. I really like how you said that you like to make your clients feel comfortable, and that they don't have to have, like this outlandish look to be beautiful. That makes people feel comfortable with coming to you. So that's awesome. That's amazing. I definitely see that you have grown as an artist. Even looking on your Instagram page, you could see that there's a lot of growth there. And I'm sure that has taken some time to expand your business. So has beauty always been something that you wanted to get into? What kind of inspired you to take the leap and go after establishing your own business?
So I have always been an art kid. So
Oh, really? Okay.
So in high school, this is my daughter Jubilee, by the way. So she
Nice
was
to meet you.
From there, I grew a lot. I, refined my skill. I was able to dip my feet in different types of artistry, different skin tones, types, textures. And I think that my experience there really helped to fine tune my versatility, because I can really work on anyone. And I think that honestly, a lot of artists, they can't. And I think that's something that people really need to work on is you need to make sure that if you're claiming you are a professional makeup artist, that you're able to do any skin tone, any skin type, and your kit needs to reflect that. And I think that that's not something that everyone has. And then as far as from there, like going into my own, I had my daughter just over 2 years ago. And when that happened, she was born July 2020 in the midst of COVID. So a lot of us were on furlough from, our jobs. And so when we went back, I finished out my maternity leave. And then I realized that retail was not in any space what I needed for the quality of life for
Right.
growing my daughter, but also doing what I love. So I wanted to be able to continue to be that leader, be that trainer, be that facilitator, be that business-minded person, be that artist, be that creative, but still being able to provide for my daughter and not miss out on her entire beginnings of life. Not everyone, has the ability to be able to be home with their child most of the time, but I have a very supportive partner. And so when we talked about really what we wanted our near future to look like, we worked really hard to make sure that, I was able to be with her half the time. He was able to be with her half the time. So when I'm working, he's with her and vice versa. And so I really get to eat my cake and have it too. So it's pretty remarkable that I still get to be that creative business person and still watch my daughter grow.
Wow, Nicole, that is the life. That is the life, because you're doing what you love.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're getting to spend time with people that you love, and you're getting to focus and zero in on making sure that you're not missing any of those amazing moments.
Downs with everything, especially as being an independent contractor. Yeah. Like, it gets rough during winter months, but it's all about how you manage things and how you are and how you are able to prepare and really be proactive. And so as long as you're able to figure out those things and really fine tune those moments where you really need to make sure you're solid, then you're good.
Then you're good. Wow. Okay. That is amazing advice. That is amazing advice. Thank you so much for, but it's your story, and that's what is going to motivate others, and everyone is always looking for advice when it comes to the beauty industry. So I really appreciate you even, being so transparent and sharing that. Was there some sort of, school or program that you took or went to for training, or did you kind of have like a mentor or someone who kind of taught you the tricks of the industry, or even just makeup in general?
Yeah. So I would say as far as makeup schools, there aren't really, I would say, let me phrase it like this. I would say that your time that you spend and your way that you better yourself is going to give you the best training experience. So for me, I worked with a lot of MAC trainers. I was able to travel for MAC. So I was able to get a lot of different feedback, a lot of feedback and perspective. And I was able to really do like skill drills over and over and just repetitive. And when all you do all day, every day is the same thing, you learn how to tweak it. You learn where it works. You learn what doesn't work. You learn how to blend better. You learn how to do makeup just better in general. So my biggest thing is, if you want to grow your skill, is be open to feedback. Don't ever think you know all of it. Nobody knows all of it, no matter how long you've been doing it, how skilled you are, how tenured you are, how successful you are. As long as you are practicing, you are, I don't say going to seminars, people don't do that anymore, but if you're like, logging into seminars, you're paying for seminars, you're learning from other people, you're asking questions, like, not everyone knows everything. So flex that artistry muscle, be open, be humble, be wanting feedback, okay with feedback. If someone tells you your liner needs to be crisper, do it. Like, okay, maybe my liner's not as crisp as it needs to be. Cool. I'm just an example, but still, it's like there's always something that you can learn, or learning how to do less. That's something that I've had to retrain my muscle on. Like, it doesn't have to be, not everyone is bridal. And so all the different things, like commercials, very different from fashion, very different from bridal, very different from boudoir, and understanding the differences in those and understanding what each of those kind of need for the kind of photography it is, or what kind of images you're trying to produce. All of that is very important, and it's always something that you can be better at no matter how good you are.
Oh, I love that advice. Thank you so much. Even for me as a makeup artist, that's great advice. Really, really appreciate your expressions on that. The journey that you've taken is very inspiring, and like many beauty experts, it has its highs and then it has its lows. We constantly have to work at not only our craft, but we have to work at even just having the business in itself, or being an entrepreneur. So what motivates you on a daily basis to keep pushing and, to keep expanding your business and growing in makeup artistry?
I will say to that too, just to that, like, kind of just, growing, expanding, and with having work and growing your work, one thing I feel like, especially, in Cleveland, is that there is enough work for everyone. And I think just being kind and supporting each other, like, I love that you're doing this, because it's like, you're like, I want to showcase these other makeup artists that I see are talented, or that I, like what they do. And I think it's important just to, if you see somebody you like, be like, I think that's awesome. I think it's like you're getting to do that, because it's nice to support one another, because it's so cool that they do get to do that. Like, how cool for them. And fine. And like, you have your own cool stuff too, but it's like in Cleveland, I feel like, especially, like, just be kind. You never know who could potentially hire you or refer you, or, be a great friend. Just be kind to one another. And I feel like there's some people who just aren't kind. And if you see someone that you're like, oh my God, they're amazing, how do they do that? How do they get to work with those people? Ask them, be like, how did you get to do that? I think that's so cool. I'm around if you ever need anybody. It's just kind of just, I don't know, it's not networking, but just being a friendly makeup artist neighbor. It's just,
Exactly.
I'm here. I love what you do. It's so cool. And I'm really proud of you. Like, that's so freaking awesome that you get to do that.
Exactly. I mean, I think that encouragement, as you said, is so important, especially with an oversaturated business. As we were just saying, when we got on here, there's so many makeup artists in Cleveland. So being able to just encourage one another. So what are some goals that you have for the near future? Both just personal or and it's N Lang Artistry, right?
Yeah, N Lang. So my first name's Nicole, the last name's Lang. For me professionally, I really love doing commercial and fashion. That's something that I want to continue to grow in doing. I would love to get more jobs in that. So just continuing to flex those muscles so that, I can just kind of continue to do those shoots and continue to work with those professionals, so that, I'm someone that they can really depend on and trust, and when they want to go to somebody. And it's beautiful, because we are so lucky in Cleveland. There are a lot of commercial artists here, and so it's nice to be able to look at their work and just inspect it and say, okay, like, I see how like flawless this is here. How can I practice that? Or, I see how crisp this is. How can I practice that? Or I love how this blends. How can I practice that? And so it's nice to be able to reference so many great people here, to kind of like aim for that.
Yeah, I like how you put that. It's definitely important to have, those types of goals. Even when you feel like you're at your highest level, you still always need to perfect little things. And that's so humble of you as well.
It's true. Like, and no matter how good you are, you can always be better. You really can. And so it's opening up.
That's great. I love to hear it. What advice? Because I want to start off this question, by first of all saying that, first of all, we're excited to see what more you have coming, just for N Lang Artistry, and because your editorial makeup is amazing. It's amazing. It's different, And I feel like editorial is always something that not everybody can tap into. It's a gift. And the fact that you can tap into it is nice, because it's not just going like this, right? It's making sure that it looks a certain way to cater to not only the audience, but also the fashion model and the fashion company that you're working for, or whoever's doing the photo shoot. So it's a lot of factors to take into mind, right? So we're excited to see what more you have coming with that. And like I said, there's other fellow beauty artists and women who will most likely be watching. What advice would you give to somebody who may be watching this and thinking of getting into the beauty industry or becoming a makeup artist? What advice would you give?
Best advice I can give is kind of what I've already said. So I'm really repetitive, but it's very true. It's just be humble, be nice, and be driven to continue to flex your muscles and build your craft. And as long as you are humble and open, and when I say open, I mean like genuinely open. Like if somebody gives you feedback, you're like, thank you. Like I'm gonna take a look at that. I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna Google it. Like, or just say like, can you show me how? So there's been times where I work with this awesome photographer. Her name's Galvin Mason, and he is really good at beautiful minimalistic. And so when I started to get back into flexing that muscle, he was really kind of reintroducing me to the way and how to do that. And I loved it. Like I've been doing this for over a decade, but I'm still being taught things in a different way that I'm like, like I love that,
Yep.
So, thing is just so just be kind, be humble, be driven, practice, and don't be scared to say hi to people. I mean, even sometimes I'm scared to say hi to people, but I mean, even if you like things on their social and you see them at the Hilton at 6 a.m, just be like, hey, like it's Nicole in real life, and I'm that person. I've done that before, and people like look at me and I'm like, hi, like, so it's but I mean, why not? Because then you kind of get to meet people, and then they get to see you and like who you are, and like you said, put a face to the name, and it's just kind of cool. It's fun.
Yeah, and also you get to learn from
Yeah.
it. So it's always a plus.
Yeah.
Absolutely always a plus. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. That advice was great. And so we're almost done, but we just have one segment left. It's called No Shade Outshine.
Love.
So it's a quick, rapid Q&A to give our viewers a little quick connection with you. So we're going to get started. Are you ready for No Shade Outshine?
Yes.
So what's one cosmetic product that you can't leave the house without?
MAC Cosmetics Original Fix Plus. So it is, if you haven't tried it, you need it in your kit. Everybody needs it. But it's a humectant spray, but basically when you put it over top of makeup, it takes away any kind of like makeup-y look, and it has a little bit of glycerin in it, so it adds like back the skin shine that you may not have. And also when I don't wear makeup, I still spray it on my face because it kind of gives an overall, I don't want to say glow because people think shiny when they hear glow.
Right.
Skin look where you don't look dry. You look like you had some water. You look like you had some sleep, and it just makes you look a little more healthy and a little more like alive.
Why I like to talk to other makeup artists, because you just never know. There's always going to be something different. Yeah. So, and the funny thing is that I even work for Ulta Beauty. I don't know if you know that, but I work part-time at
cool.
Ulta Beauty as well, and I worked at Sephora before, so I'm pretty knowledgeable about products. So I love to hear when there's specific products that people are really, really loving.
I recommend getting yourself a trial size, and when you spray big sprays from far away. Let it just sit on your skin, air dry naturally.
Really? Okay. Yes, I love it. Give us the tea. Give us the tea, Nicole. So what's one dream celebrity that you would love to work on? Because you do like fashion shoots and stuff like that, or with.
I would say
if you haven't already done reached that level.
Jessica Alba, I would love to. She's like always crush. And so I feel like she's so beautiful, and her skin, I mean, from pictures, her skin's beautiful. She's just got beautiful features. And so I would love just to kind of do a fashion shoot with her, just perfect her, polish her. She really doesn't need a lot.
one place in the world
Mm.
that you would love to travel to for business.
Scotland.
Scotland, why?
Um, the ocean, the greenery,
Hmm.
like a really beautiful country, and I don't know when I'll get there, but it just I would love to go and just sit on like the islands and just absorb the scenery. It just I think would be so beautiful and like centering as like in your soul. I could just see it being very like good.
That's different. I like that. That's different. What beauty service do you get done that's like therapy for you?
Pedicures.
Yes.
I love a good pedicure. And if a hand massage only was a service, I would get that done because I love hand massages.
Right, especially for us. We're always using our hands. That's something that is definitely like a luxury thing. I love that. Um, would you rather treat yourself to a new pair of shoes or a new bag?
Definitely shoes for the most part. Because bags, I like it more expensive bags. So I feel like if I were to treat myself, it'd just be a new pair of shoes. Because when I have a good bag, it's mine for a couple of years. So
Right. Yes, and because they are pretty penny, especially if you like nice bags.
I really like Marc Jacobs, but like it's more like, it's not like Chanel or anything, but like I love Marc Jacobs. So that's my bag.
Yes, yes. And I've heard a lot of people are liking the tote. It's called the tote bag, right?
I like the things where you can't tell it's even a brand.
Oh yes, exactly.
I like having a brand name bag, but you can't even tell it's there. I don't know. It's just no.
Last question is, what's one quote or piece of advice which you've already given that you want to share with our Stain Braves so that they remember how beautiful they are? And I know that you love this question because you're big on this.
Oh, it's a quote, but it's really something how I feel, where it's just like be beautiful and where you are in the moment. So whether you have 19-year-old beauty or 35-year-old beauty or 65-year-old beauty, you really earned that. You earned where you are. So you should be happy that you have it and really pay attention to what makes you beautiful. And just because like we're like snowflakes, and just because one snowflake doesn't look like another, it doesn't mean that they're just not as beautiful as one another, because they are. It's just in how you see it and how you see yourself. And everyone truly is beautiful, and they each have something beautiful about them, and you just have to be able to see it in yourself. And I know it's like hard, especially as women. I feel like we're so hard on ourselves, but honestly, it's like I know it's so stupid and sounds so cliche, but if you really do like yourself for the most part, which hopefully most people, it's like you can see the beauty in yourself, or you try to turn around. And I just feel like some people don't think they're beautiful because they don't look like other people. And that's why I like to use the snowflake thing, because you don't look like anyone else, no matter how hard you try. You're your own individual, beautiful, uniquely self. So you need to be able to look at yourself and say, wow, nobody is like me. I'm so different and cool. And nobody else could ever be like this. And nobody else could ever be like you. And that's so interesting and special. And I think that you should be happy how you are, because you are yourself. I don't know. So cool.
And own it. Exactly. I love that. That's what Fame Beauty Empire is all about. It's owning your beauty, and it is not being afraid to express it, but also knowing, as you said, that you don't have to look like this specific image, or you don't have to look like anyone else.
Yeah.
Who are you? And however you choose to express your beauty is up to you. And it's gonna be beautiful because it's unique to you. Yeah. So I love that. We're all snowflakes, same babes. We're all snowflakes. I love that.
Gorgeous snowflakes with all of these beautiful details, and however you want to enhance yourself, you do it.
Love it. Love it. Nicole, it was so nice getting to know you. It was so nice. Yes, and it even more special with the fact that you're from Cleveland. So I'm sure that we'll cross paths at some point. I know. Or even get to, work together one day. You never know. So thank you so much for taking the time out. I know as a mother, it's very busy for you, and you know, you have your hands full. So I really, really appreciate you.
To pop in from time to time.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, this is real. We keep it real over here, Nicole. We keep it real, okay?
I stripped on now.